We move into the Kharkiv Front. So over the Kharkiv Front, Russian forces continue their Kharkiv offensive. Maybe I'm not even sure it's an offensive anymore. It felt like more like a a Kharkiv diversion operation. So there is attack over at Kharkiv, and there is Ukrainian counterattack over at Hliboke, Ukrainian counterattack at Staritsia, and the battle of Voschansk is currently ongoing, and Russians are attacking Taike. So this is the current strategic situation, and as you can see, there is no more offensive. The Russian Kharkiv offensive is pretty much over. As I mentioned also previously, because at the Voschansk sector, Russians have already blew up basically all the bridges, and clearly signaling the intent to not cross south from wherever they are. So the Russians are definitely not interested to go south, and I did mention this before. Strategically speaking, there's no reason to go into Kharkiv city. There's no reason to take over the Kharkiv front. It doesn't serve much purpose for the Russian forces. By doing this cross-border, kind of attack where you have some presence around there, this forced the Ukrainians to have to fight here. So if the Russians are within the Russian border, the Ukrainians can not need to actually fight over here. But because the Russians are now here, the Ukrainians are now obligated to actually fight in this front line, where clearly the Russians are no longer pushing south. Whatever it is, this is wasting Ukrainian resources and basically play into the Russian hands, unfortunately. So we go over to this Zuralevka sector or region. There is multiple geolocations. So other than the fighting reported at Granov or Hraniv, so the Russians are attacked in this area here. It could be just fire attacks. So take it with a pinch of salt. There's multiple geolocations of Russian strikes on Ukrainian forces. Over here we saw Yaruha. This sounds very Japanese, and this location just off Nikotivka, and of course, as mentioned, the Ukrainian forces are geolocated within Hoptivka. So basically, the Ukrainians have retaken whatever the land they have lost, if they have lost it at all, over at the Hoptivka region. So we move over from this area to the Lipsy sector. Over the Lipsy sector, the Ukrainians are on the counter-offensive. Ukrainians are fighting towards Hliboke currently, and the geolocation of Ukrainian forces clearly show that the Ukrainians are quite near Zeline, at least. So we still are looking for corroboration of the Russian presence in Zeline. So as you can see, the fighting also have really toned down a lot. Russian forces are holding this line around Lukyansk. It could be also around here. We are not very sure. If we look at this relief, we will probably see that this area here doesn't look very useful, as the Ukrainians have the high ground around here. So probably this is just a gray zone. This is just a gray zone. Russians are holding around the Lukyansk region, maybe along the river. So that's probably what is currently happening around here. We move into the Staritsia sector. Over the Staritsia sector, just around the region, there is attacks. Russian attack on Ukrainian forces at Senikove, Shetirivka, as well as this in the middle of nowhere, just north of Bayrak. So haven't heard of Bayrak for a long time. Oh my god, bring back memories from 2 years ago. Oh my god, I feel so old. Ukraine war have lasted so long. Imagine I have to say bring back memories. So nuts, man. So anyway, at Staritsia, Ukrainian forces are conducting counter-offensive operations in the Staritsia region. We do not know much about this. The Russians have the high ground around here. As I mentioned in previous reports, this is going to be a difficult fight because everyone is on the high ground. The Russians are having on this high ground around here in Borovka and the north of Staritsia. Ukrainians are in the high ground south of the river across Staritsia. Ukrainians may actually also be here. So it's just just a strike here, strike there. everybody is just having partying around, shooting ice at each other. So over at the Voschansk region, the geolocation clearly shows the fighting around at Voschansk. There is a clash around this area, but no one reports about fighting at Voschansk. It's weird. So we have the geolocation, but there is no reports from either the Russian side or the Ukrainian side talking about some battles at Voschansk. So, which is why there is there's no mapped or plotted information about fighting at Voschansk. Over at Taike, the Russian Defense Ministry mentioned that they are attacking Taikoye. So interesting. That's interesting. The Ryba was the one that claimed that Russian forces have captured Taike. The Russian Defense Ministry has never claimed that Taike was taken. So this is a very important thing to note. So while I'm critical about the Russian Defense Ministry, making claims that cannot be corroborated, but they also never claim about Taike, which also cannot be corroborated. So no credits where credits due. I'm not even sure if there's credit, but anyway, that's all over at this Kharkiv Front. So we move on from the Kharkiv Front over at the Kupiansk Front.